Are you ready to name a starting quarterback yet?
No, I'm not.
Okay. What does Brandon Allen bring to the quarterback position that you like?
Experience. He's got experience in the system. That's why he's here. Played a lot of football over the course of his high school career, college career. Done a really good job. And really the same with Finley. Finley was a 3-year starter in college as well. And he's got 2 years experience in the system. So we feel like we got two guys that know this system very well and could lead us to victory.
Like, I know you say you're not ready to name one, but have you made up your mind on who will start?
Maybe.
I guess we'll go into the decision of which one you would choose.
Just who gives us the best chance to win. That's the bottom line. We always do what's best for the team. And, not every decision is always easy, but again, we're always going to try to put our team in the best position.
Zach, obviously at the beginning of the year, you said you felt like Ryan was a good number 2. How has your opinion of Ryan maybe changed or over the course of, the last several months?
I wouldn't say it's changed at all. I think Ryan's approach has been excellent. All of our backup quarterbacks did not benefit from a lack of preseason and training camp, so they've had to be creative in how they get their reps and how we continue to develop those guys. And I think, that whole quarterback room led by Dan Pitcher's done a good job of getting in their work and staying prepared.
How hard is it to make a decision like this, Zach? Obviously 5 days ago, you didn't expect to be here.
Yeah, it's things you think about every week. You always think about the depth at different position groups, and so that you don't ever get blindsided by things. And again, we weigh everything into account, and we try to make the best decision.
You obviously worked with Brandon pretty extensively in 2018 when you were the QB coach at LA. What did you guys see out of him when he was on the practice squad, and what was his approach like?
Always had a great approach. My first exposure to him was he was on the practice squad. So you'd see him taking reps of stuff that wasn't really necessarily in our system, but you could see some of the timing and anticipation he threw with. And, so again, he's just kind of always had that it factor to him. I think he's carried throughout probably his entire life as a baseball player and as a quarterback.
Coach, was he kind of separated from the two guys or because of COVID, or was he just part of a group, or how did you guys work that out?
Yeah, we always kept him away from those guys during the meetings, so he's always been virtual, which at the end of the day, you're getting the same information. It's just we were always making sure we didn't have all 3 of those guys together in the building at the same time during the times that we were allowed to have guys around.
Zach, when you go back and you look at that 2019 class and kind of why they have or haven't worked out, when you go back, what's been the issue with maybe getting a little more production than you probably would have liked, and what was the challenge in trying to scout those guys as you were trying to come in just a couple months earlier?
I'm sorry, Ben. 29. You're talking about our entire draft class?
Yes, correct.
So Jonah and Drew and the guys
everybody
now.
Yeah. Yes, correct.
I'm sorry. Can you just ask the question? I got lost on who you were talking about. Can you just ask?
Yeah, no, it was a long question, so that's understandable. I probably should just kept it to one there. I guess when you go, what was the difficulty in kind of evaluating that 2019 class when y'all got hired in February? Because the draft was only a couple months later.
No, we felt good about our evaluations of those guys and who we've got. A lot of those guys are playing a lot of ball for us. So I don't feel like that there was difficulties because Duke and his staff, they've been doing this stuff for a long time and they put the coaches in a good position to be able to contribute when we do our own assessments of guys. And it's always a great collaboration. And so I wouldn't say that we felt like we struggled evaluating that 2019 class. I think we made some good decisions. Those guys are playing a lot of ball for us.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about the New York Giants quarterback and Daniel Jones a bit?
Yeah, really impressed by him. You can see his second year in the league. I know he's in a new system compared to last year, but you can see his ownership of that. Just him playing as an NFL quarterback, you can really see the confidence he's got in himself and his ability to see defenses and the team's confidence in him. And he's starting to make a lot of plays. He's made some big-time throws this year. He's had some big-time runs. And, he looks very poised back there and puts them in a good position.
Any more questions for Coach?
Yeah, Zach, I have a question. In Thanksgiving week, historically, it's kind of a throwaway question. What are you thankful for? But in 2020, in light of, all the difficulties this year,
yeah,
what are you thankful for and how will you spend Thanksgiving?
Yeah, just thankful for good people, being surrounded by good people, like-minded people who are all part of the same mission. Talking about our staff and just people in the building and players in the building, really, really grateful because we face some tough times, obviously. So it's fun coming into work knowing that we're all pulling in the same direction. And then, of course, thankful for, my wife, kids, parents, siblings, just really good support system, which everybody needs. I'm not just talking coaching football in 2020. I'm talking life in general. Everybody needs somebody. And so I'm very thankful. I've never begged for that or needed that because it's always been around me. And so you're very, very thankful for all that. It's a great question, Dan.
You got some favorite food, Coach, for Thanksgiving?
Pumpkin pie. Absolutely. Pecan pie, pumpkin pie. I'm probably eating too much pie right now, to be quite honest with you. I'm glad only my face is on Zoom, but Thursday will be no different probably. I'll get after some of that pie.
This line. Zac, there's a report out nationally that there's some dissension in the locker room. Some of the coaches aren't accessible, including yourself. That some of them have been abusive. We talked to Gio earlier. He said, hey, we're all still 100% behind you in particular, and said, if you're not pissed at where the season's going, then we probably do have a problem. What's your sense of where the locker room unity is right now?
I'm always being honest with you all. I feel really good about the leadership and our connection with the players, and really do feel a really strong connection amongst the players and the coaches. And so again, I know we haven't won enough games, but I do feel really good about our vision and the direction that we're headed and the commitment that we have from our players to help us get to where we're going to be at. Very, very proud of what these guys have always done behind the scenes.
Zac, how do you measure if your message is resonating? I mean, I know you can talk to them and you can have guys talking, but is there a tangible way to say, okay, what we are saying isn't falling on deaf ears and we are seeing the culture that we want to see, or we're not seeing?
Just the commitment to the communication, first of all, that we see every single day when we're dealing with each other. And then what these guys take to practice. You give them a message early in the week of what we want to get accomplished at practice, and these guys, they go all out. They're committed to that message and getting better. And we feel like we've seen improvement in a lot of areas. The improvement has not shown up in the win column, and ultimately that's how we're judged, and we know that. But I feel like we are still heading in the right direction. Our guys believe in that, and I certainly believe in that.
Zac, is that fair to be judged by wins and losses, given all of the injuries that you guys have gone through now, especially with Burrow now?
No, I appreciate that question. That's life. It's that this is life in the NFL. We're all professionals. That's ultimately what it comes down to, and we got to find ways to finish off games and give a complete game in all three phases from our team because we got to go win.
As a coaching staff, how do you make sure you keep the guys bought in, given everything that's gone on? It's getting cold now. We talked about, it's Thanksgiving, it's a holiday week. How do you keep them focused?
Well, you take great pride in building the relationships over the last 2 years because it really does come down to that, that there's a trust factor there amongst the players and the leaders on the team, the young guys. And, again, that's why we've talked this week more than ever about being as connected as we can possibly be, because we know that it's a time, at this point in the year when you get past the bye and you're getting into December, and there's the right choice and there's the easy choice. And so it falls on us as coaches and the leaders in the locker room to make sure that we got all the guys heading in the right direction.
Like, do you understand how there can be players that can grouse about lack of playing time, usage, and all those things? Is that just maybe a natural thing that can occur on a 60-player roster, 70-player roster?
We got a very strong open door policy where our players can come talk to us, and I feel like we're in good touch with our players. So, I'm not going to respond to anybody that doesn't put their name on it.
We've heard some descriptions of Joe Burrow being at the stadium this week, Zac, where it sounds like he's been lifting the spirits of his teammates more than the other way around. Have you observed that?
I haven't seen Joe down yet. It's sitting on the plane with Joe, sitting on the bus. He wanted to know what happened in the second half. What were the adjustments the other team made, both teams made, and he didn't want to talk about himself. He wants to talk about what we're doing to get better. I haven't really been around him and the team at the same time. I've just been around him individually, but his spirits remain the same as they've always been, and that's one of the things you love about Joe.
2 more minutes with Coach.
How active will he be in terms of just being present, or maybe even interacting in the Zooms and as the season goes on? Is that something that you expect?
Well, the good news is it's a lot easier with Zoom. And we'll just get through this week, first of all. I haven't said anything to him in that regard. Just let him get all of his stuff straightened out this week. And make sure he's comfortable and getting healthy, and then we'll get through this week and we'll figure out a good plan for him for the rest of the season.
Coach, any idea when that surgery might be? Anything?
I don't have any information on that yet.
Thanks.
You bet.
Zac, when you watch the offensive line tape from Sunday, what kind of jumped out from you?
Towards the end there, just a little bit inconsistent, at the end of the game where the pressure showed up. And part of that is, we get down and start throwing the ball, and that's really where their front showed up. They got some real forces up there, those front five guys, if you count Kerrigan there as the backup. And that's what we were trying to avoid going into the game. That's why the ball was coming out so quick in the first half. And we felt like we had a good plan that way. And then once we got behind and, it threw us a little bit out of rhythm. And, we were throwing, and those guys had done a good job protecting up at that point. And overall, as a unit, we didn't do a great job maintaining the rhythm that we had in the first half. And it falls on all of us. It's not just the offensive line. It's me as a play caller, just making sure we got into a better flow. And I did not do that. So, that was part of the issue there.
One more question.
Zac, I know you got enough to think about with the Giants and just winning that game, but with the Ravens and Steelers being pushed back off of Thanksgiving and hopefully being played on Sunday, and no buys left for you guys, and most teams don't have them left. I know you stay in the moment, but isn't that part of what COVID-19 has given us this year of what if?
It's, every day really is a new day, and we really, I think that we've done a great job. Nobody's immune to a case here or there. We've learned that, you can do everything you could possibly do and it still somehow jumps up and bites you. But again, we got to stay very consistent with our approach. It does happen around the league. I don't know anything about what you mentioned, the delay of the game. That must have happened during practice, but we just know that we want to play these football games. And so we got to do everything we can to protect ourselves, protect our teammates, and stay healthy.
All right, Coach, we'll let you go. Thanks for your time.
Okay. Thank you all.
Thanks, Zac.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, everyone.